Hi everybody. So this is an assembly guide or installation guide for Ring stick-up camera. This is one of their less expensive cameras. It runs off of a battery. You can also attach a solar power pack to it, which we're not going to do today, just do the battery. But I mean, you can put this thing anywhere. It has pretty good range also. So obviously the packing material is very nice. They give you a nice little sticker, and the installation to a current Ring system is easy. Adding a Ring system, you just download the Ring app, and you got to do all the registration stuff, but it's pretty easy. The construction of the camera is pretty nice. I was a little concerned whether it was going to be waterproof. It's not waterproof, meaning you can't just throw it in the pool, but apparently it's splash proof. It should resist rain. I would probably put it under an overhang or something if possible. I'm not sure how well it'll do out in the open. Maybe somebody knows that. Perhaps one day we'll get to try it and see. The doorbells sit out in the open. Why not that? It just seems like the plastic cracks. So this is the battery. It's the same as the doorbell. All the Ring batteries are the same. They give you a plug for power, plugging in, powering it. I used a iPad or iPhone adapter with the USB 1, I think, plug. It still isn't the USB-C. Anyway, so also it has the mount on the bottom if you're just going to set it somewhere. That's the default position. I'm going to put it on a pillar thing, so it'll be sideways. So you got to take the mount off, like with a Phillips head screwdriver, and then just screw it back into the back there. Put that little rubber deal, just to keep it covered and keep creatures from getting in there and living in there, I guess. But there's a giant up arrow on it to show you the direction, and you just screw it right back into the back of this guy. While I was fooling around with it here, that's how to unlock, and you can see lock and unlock. To take it off, and that's where the battery goes. Make sure you charge the battery before you do the whole deal. The night before, just plug it in, let it charge. The battery has 2 lights on it when it's charging and only 1 green light when it's done. I didn't put it in until mine was fully charged and I was ready to, make it work. And I actually had mine working before I put it up. That's not a bad idea. Like when you're next to the router, it has a real good signal, that sort of thing. So anyway, back to putting the mount on. It says up, so obviously you want to put it up. Although you could probably fool around with this if you want it to angle a different direction, but keep in mind, if the camera is sideways, your video will be sideways. So you probably want it not to be a sideways camera. It's not going to adjust. So anyway, it's pretty simple. Put the Phillips head screw in there and tighten it in. I wouldn't use your super strength again, even though it's metal. You don't want to strip it. And so now this back little piece actually slides on and off. So you can, when you're fastening it to a wall or the pillar or whatever, you just fasten this little piece with the rubber part against the wall, and then you can just actually slide the camera on. This is the fasteners they give you. It's some anchors and screws, and then a couple of little lock screws if you're going to use those. It's pretty straightforward. that said, let's go ahead and put this back together again, and make sure the camera actually works before you go to all the trouble of putting it up. I mean, if it's broke or something, you want to return it. So when you're doing the app, it's just follow the instructions. You just go into the Ring app settings, add an item, and it'll tell you to scan that little barcode they give you with it, and you scan it in and follow the instructions. And once you get it scanned in, it'll tell you it's uploading or updating. So let it finish the update. It could take a little bit. Just let it sit. Let it do the update, and then reset the app. Just close the app and restart it. It should be. See, it says updating firmware. If that blue light's flashing, if it's not flashing and it's still up, then it should be working. You can, just hit skip and go to the next thing. Let's test it out here. Click the camera and put it on live. Click it, and then let's see, live, and there it is. Yep, it's working. Oh, I got the COVID haircut. Let's break out the razor and see the infrared. So there we go. All right, the camera's working now. We're gonna go ahead and mount it to the pillar I was gonna put it on. So you just take that little plastic piece off, the mounting bracket. You could use a pen to mark the holes. I used a paper clip so I could, because I don't know how well a pencil would probably be good, would write on or mark on these bamboo pieces that I was going to mount it to. You can mount it to just about anything. But I was putting it on this bamboo, so I dug little marks out, and then we're going to go ahead and drill a couple of holes that are, you got to make sure the size of those little plastic anchors. So just look at the drill bit and drill your holes. And pretty straightforward. If you don't like drilling holes, and then you probably don't want to mount this like this. Anyway, then you get the little plastic anchor, and I use a rubber hammer to mallet to drive that anchor in both holes. There's some frogs and stuff in there yelling at me. Weren't real happy about me messing with their little hidey hole spot. And so then you get your screws. Now, if it was concrete, I would probably crank this down pretty good. I was a little bit leery of doing it in the bamboo. But, I tightened it pretty good. And remember, when you're tightening it down, it pulls the plastic back and makes the anchors kind of puff out, which keeps it stuck in there. So you want to tighten it good, but don't use your super strength and tear up the anchor. But I got it tightened down pretty good. And then you just slide that sucker right on. Gosh, Ring engineered this nice. It's so easy. You just plop it on there, peel off the little plastic protection crap. There's a blue tab, but you could do it the hard way. And then put it on live again and aim it where you want it aimed. And there it is, guys. I tell you, this Ring, they know what they're doing, these guys. I've been liking their camera systems.